Out here at the English sales.
BC's been spotting flies all morning.
Certainly not buying any horses. I'd prefer to back them, not buy them. But anyway, what do you like at Warwick Farm today, Azza? Well, first of all, I'll start with what I like. Race number 2, I thought Make a Ripple looked pretty hard to beat for Chris Waller. It's a filly that I've always had a bit of time for, and finally gets to the mile. I thought the last 2 efforts have been quite good, and now third up 1600 metres. That's not a bad formula for Chris Waller. Having to take probably short odds, 220, might get out to around that 240 range, 250. I think it's not a bad bet.
I think we both found her out of the trials initially as a horse to follow. Looked like a horse that would get better over further, would want a bit of ground. Like you said, first 2 runs are good, and I think the mile suits her. I loved the last run. She really just... Sometimes horses flash and you think they want further and they don't. This is a horse that was really just building through a run late. I think she wants the ground. Look, she's $2.20. And it's probably no great luxury, but it looks probably a right odds.
What did you think of the first race? And in the first race, I couldn't sort of get it.
Look, to be honest, I found it a little bit too hard. I didn't get to spend enough time on the race, to be honest, just with the sales and everything. I have had a little bit of time for Pound, Sterling and Revolving. I thought both their runs first up were a little bit disappointing, but it does look to be a strong maiden, so I could forgive them.
What about the staying race, race 3?
I thought Murphy's Delight last run was quite good with the big weight. He was just starting to go. I think he's 4th up now, probably looks ready to win. Yeah, Hugh Bowman on board, Barrett like good gate. I couldn't really think a little bit positive. Not my real sort of race, but I do think he's ready to win Murphy's Delight. Race
number 4, the favourite here, Hermosa Beach 375. I tend to agree with Johnny Walter. I noticed his set this morning and he was keen on backing a few to beat Hermosa Beach. One of those was Something Secret.
Held up last start.
Yeah, just had no luck whatsoever at the provincials. It was a metro meeting at Wyong, wherever it was. But
got out would have won.
She's a Saturday winner at Rose Hill last season.
Yep.
And I think getting out to the 1400 at Warwick Farm, hopefully Kathy O'Hara from that good gate can just keep her in touch, because I think she has a superior turn of foot and looks to be not bad odds. It's $6 each way.
Yeah, I thought she looked the one at the value. I thought looked the better value of that at $6. I wasn't quite sure about Hermosa Beach. I have a feeling she might prefer tricks a little bit softer.
Yep.
I thought backing Something Secret and Tremezino got the win last start, well backed. Saw horse that showed ability early, and I just think maybe with getting the confidence of the win, even though it wasn't really the greatest win, I think getting the confidence of the win might see her continue.
What about race 5? Too hard for me. There's a lot of fillies with decent ability. Sanea favourite, top of my list, was impressive on debut. Then you get Musica, Themis, Crevatine, even Imposing Lass. What's that? 5 horses between $3 and $8.
Yeah, well, you got Imposing Lass. It's around the $12 mark, or is it?
Yeah, it's into 8.
It's in the 8 now. Jesus. All right, I was quite keen on her, especially this morning at the $12. I thought she looked a great little each way bet. I thought, look, Mosaica hit the line really well first up. Probably would have gone close to winning if she got clear running, but I thought one of those stayers second up. Be happy to go away from her. Themis, big weight. Never been one of my horses, so I'm happy to go away from her. I'd be looking to back Imposing Lass and Sanea. But look, I've got a lot of time for Crevantine, but I thought she's maybe a little bit short. I was leaning towards the other two.
What about race number 6? Excuse me, Brooklyn Storm, favourite 360. Well, hardly ever 420. Let's Make It Rain 550. 1200 metre race was too hard for me.
I thought with the blinkers on last start, it was a very impressive win. He won by about 5. I think he's absolutely flying, Brooklyn Storm. He's come back as like a stronger horse. Don't worry about that, it won't run out. Brooklyn Storm, yeah, I thought he's just come back a nice horse. He's only a little bloke, but he tries his heart out. He has grown a little bit, although his win was good, and I thought it'd be hard to beat again. The other horse that I was interested in the race was Puzzling Wonder. It's always showed a fair bit of ability, and he's trialled well.
In the last race, we have Spinning Dawn, favourite 460, Miami Dade 550. I've had something on a little roughie here, just as Cosmic at $17. I spec'd small this morning, coming back in grade, third up from a decent gate, getting to the mile, claim on. I just thought it had a little bit of class on these runners. Not the most honest horse, but I thought at that price was worth a little bit of an each way gamble.
Well, there's two horses a little bit. I was interested to have something on. One being Murray. I thought his run first up was outstanding. He's just a horse that just tries and tries and tries. His win when caught wide at Canterbury last prep I thought was very impressive, and I think there could even be a Saturday race in him somewhere. I was quite interested to back him on the each way basis here, and I thought Miami Dade looks to be going well.
Good as gold. Best of the day.
Probably don't have one. I think if they'd Imposing Lass and Sanea, I think one of the two will win, and regardless, I'd be following Imposing Lass as she gets over ground with her. She's a horse I really want to follow. Right,
Make a Ripple early for me, race number 2, and then I'm specking Justice Cosmic in the last at the big odds. Good luck today at Warwick Farm.
Good luck, and we'll watch the BZ by horses this afternoon.
No.